Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to her. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I'm going to say is brought to you by Camo Dumpster. This is one of the companies that I got right now in Southern Tennessee, and we're going to do great things for you even in Atlanta, but I ain't made it quite yet. So, again, if you're up in Tennessee, you can definitely look up all the things I do. Again, we got dumpsters and also got a transfer station. So I got different things that you can actually utilize me with. Yeah. But most important is the fact that I give back to the community. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure I ain't getting over. I just want to make sure I do the right thing for you to come to me over here at Camo Dumpster.
Yes.
Now, I got to push that to the side and get back to the person that's rocking with me over 6 years. Now, this person coming with a smile each and every time. So you ladies need to pay attention what Craftmatic got for me today, big baby.
Man, I'm fired up, bro.
You fired up?
Fired up, bro. Fired up for life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing in particular.
So you get mad. You know, when you get mad, you get fired up.
Married?
I said, mad.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
You was married already. I said, when you get mad, you get fired up.
Yeah, I'm passionate about life, you know?
Okay.
And everything's going well, man. How's everything going for you, Jay?
Man, let me tell you, I'm constantly dealing with different things, but you know something? I got to push back and bless the man above.
Yes, sir.
He wakes me up. He makes me understand what I pray for. I pray for understanding. He keeps giving it to me.
Yes, sir.
So when you actually get in tune and pray for something and he keeps showing you, it makes life different. So now I wake up with the understanding that I see things different.
Yes.
That makes me wake up with the abundance of knowing I got more to do.
Right.
So a lot of times they be like, man, you don't even look your age. You doing this, you doing that. That's because I got a mission to do. And it ain't for you. It's for me. So again, get on your power struggle and understand what it is.
There it is.
Because I don't think everybody knows.
Go. A great way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to deliver a powerful dialogue. Tonight we're going to share a discussion about what's making you stagnant. And we want this to be somewhat therapeutic. Yes. Hoping that from your own seat you can grow from our dialogue, from our opinions, from our stories.
Yes.
And find some ways to grow. Find some decisions that you can make within this discussion that's going to help you be a better person, overcome your struggles, and really achieve your greatest work in life. Mm-hmm. We don't do this just because we want. We call it bar talk ultimately, because after you have your first drink or somewhere in the midst of your first drink, you open up and you start talking and you start discussing what's really going on in your life.
It ain't always the liquor either.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the pain, right? Sometimes it's the pain. So enjoy tonight's show, and of course we always start the show off with a prayer. Jay, are you interested?
You know something? I'm gonna give a prayer.
Okay.
All right. And this prayer is over this stagnation, because I like to say, being stagnant, I'm gonna ask the Lord to deliver me from being a fear of other things but Him. Can you help guide me in this life? Yes. Open me up to realize that you can guide me for step compared to reality. And I'm scared of what man can do when I already know what you can do. Can you guide me back to your glory and not man's?
Yes.
Can you get me to understand more of what you have for me compared to what somebody say I should be? Yes. We've been taught wrong by others and we are not seeking you. Can you continue to guide me, bless me, and give me the understanding of what you have for me compared to what somebody else is telling me? Close my ears to them and open them to you, for I can walk within your glory.
Yes.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Just a powerful prayer, Jay, because we need help.
Yes, we do.
We need help with change. We need help
Yes.
opening up.
Yes.
We need help. And that's what the entire discussion is ultimately going to be about tonight. I just want to introduce our family, the Bar Talk family here, to my new product. I started the company Minecraft a couple of years ago, and Jay has been very helpful in helping me build it and
Great stuff.
deliver it here on the show. And we now have grown to have some new products on our website and be very much a service-oriented company. Our goal is to help people understand how to think. And when you understand how to think, you know how to manage your stress, you know how to solve problems, you know how to overcome hurdles, you know how to keep yourself fired up, you know how to achieve life. But if you've never been taught how to think, your mind could be bouncing off the walls, and you could be displacing all of your most valuable personal energy. And so, we've designed the course in such a way, it's called Active Mindfulness, that would fit your monthly and annual needs. So if you are just going through a major hurdle, maybe you're about to start a business, maybe you're just experienced a divorce, maybe you've been in a rut and you just need to get jumped off again, maybe you just finished retirement and need to kind of re-engage your own personal life again, Active Mindfulness is the perfect product for you. It's going to get you laser focused mentally. It's going to help you create the mindset to achieve the goal. That's one of the major reasons why many people don't stick to their goals, because they haven't created a mindset to support the goal. You don't just get up and go start working. You set your mind in place so that, you got to know that, okay, this might be a little tough. I need big breaks in this scenario. I need to have intensity in this scenario. I need to make sure that I get help in this scenario, because I don't know all the answers. So when you set the mindset up through active mindfulness, it's just a fantastic way to jumpstart your mind towards your objectives in life.
Yes.
So join us at Mindcraft Central, MINDCRAFT Central.com, and take a look at active mindfulness. We've got a couple other products there. Mindset Creator. We have Thought Motivators. We have Life Questions. We have Law of Attraction quotes. Just ways to feed yourself, because typically there's just not any place to feed yourself positivity. And that's what Minecraft is all about.
Yes, it does. And it got some nice small clips that you can play throughout the day. Yes.
If you catch our social media platforms, there's plenty of 1-minute clips there. Sometimes you only need a minute or two of nourishment. And that's what that's designed to do, is to nourish you just in a moment's standpoint. Tonight's topic, again, what's making you stagnant? What's making you stagnant? How would you respond to that, Jay?
Fear.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I don't do certain things is because I automatically have a fear, and then I push myself backwards instead of forward.
Okay, and tell me about the fear. What is that? Is that
Fear
a feeling?
Fear of failure.
That's a feeling.
It's a feeling, but it's also a fear of failing. I automatically can sabotage my own thoughts. Oh, there ain't nobody gonna want this. Ain't nobody gonna like that. Instead of putting the product out there and finding out for yourself, you already throwing a negative spin to something that could be a great thing. A lot of times we don't follow through just because we kind of give up internally before we ever get it all the way out. So a lot of times you got to stop that and process it on through, and then see exactly what you got. Because some things everybody might not, but the bottom line, finish it, because bottom is you.
Yes. And
then even if somebody didn't like all what you have, I like to say I don't always get the views I want. But if I got one person that came back and said, man, that's powerful, and I enjoyed it, it means the world to me. Because when I gave this out, you don't always know how it's going to come back. But you gave a part of you that everybody else get to see. And that's a legacy. That's something that's going to be carried on through time. But if I don't give it, they'll never know it.
Right.
So at that point, I failed myself. And that's why I don't stay stagnant as much no more, because I start seeing me in a way that I didn't like me. How am I starting something I'm not finishing? Because you start losing a little momentum. Certain things come your way. Then I got to get back in my head and say, okay, we're going to do this. Okay? We're going to do a quick shift. And that shift still allows me to keep going that way.
Okay.
And again, it keeps the drive going. Stagnant, your drive is not moving.
You're not moving.
And you need to get it moving. And a lot of times you need a spark. And you need to quit being the fear to put the spark out and let the spark do what it do. So you can get with the right people to help spark it, or also be a strong you. And you have to bring it up. You know, a lot of times I get a lot of people listening to the show. Excuse me. It's because they listen to me. When they listen to you, you're speaking in a way that they want to hear. But then you're being open to what they're saying. Now, it becomes a conversation.
Right.
And that's what Bar Talk was always about. It's not about the liquor, it's about the conversation. And people recognize it when you speak it. You have to speak it into existence. You expect social media to do it all for you, but to me, you are the source. So if they can't really hear from you, then social media can't sell what you ain't putting out. So it's getting back comfortable with you and realizing you are your own worst critic in certain forms.
Absolutely.
And I just want you to get out of that.
Absolutely.
And again, be open-minded that everybody might not perceive it the way you give it. Yeah. And again, that hurts as well, but it also gives you opportunity to shift when you're trying to bring something else out. So I've learned that throughout time, because some people feel like, man, you kind of hard in the paint. So then when I went a different direction, they was like, I kind of like you where you was. So then you kind of balance yourself to realize what makes you comfortable. And it also make people perceive you by your comfortability. And all of a sudden they say, hey, you know something? I like how you always consistent. Because I wasn't consistent when I'm trying to please. I get consistent when I get comfortable in what I'm doing.
Right.
And then I give it each and every time. And that's sometimes what people are looking to see. Can you be consistent with time? How you come? Where you thinking? Because after a while, somebody be like, yo, Kraft think like this. Jay think like that. Because they starting to understand how we deliver. Deliver your message each and every time how you feel compared to what somebody else say, because you watch somebody else and you trying to be them. That's not you. Stick with your formula. Your formula will work better than somebody else's, because they made theirs for them. You got to make yours for you.
Right.
And that's what makes us different and also unique. Don't make unique off of somebody else. Make unique off of you.
Absolutely. I went to see a good friend of mine a couple of years ago, and his mother was visiting with him.
Okay.
And she fixed us a nice dinner. And, you know, we had a nice dinner, and she's a real fun-loving type person, right?
All right.
And one of her favorite sayings that evening.
What's that?
She told her son this to his face several times.
Mm-hmm.
She said, son, you worried about the wrong damn thing.
Ah! That's grown folks talk right there.
That's grown folks talk,
grown
right?
folks.
That's some of that good wisdom. That
Yes,
old,
it is.
That good old mature
when
wisdom.
you understand what they're saying.
Yes. And so sometimes we get stagnant because we're worried about the wrong damn thing.
I like how you tie that in.
Right? And that's real. That
It is.
you can't pay attention to the world to do you.
Mm.
You can get some ideas from the world about what might be possible,
Correct.
but you have to always do you. And if you're worried about somebody else's life more than you're worried about your own, you're making a great mistake.
Mm.
Okay? Now, I like the way Jay came with fear, because I think many of us have known it as false evidence appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
False evidence appearing real. Ultimately, it's mostly in the mind. It's mostly in your thinking, because you're afraid of failing. That's self-sabotage.
Right.
That is a negative mindset. But I'm going to make sure that I say this in a way that people can get it.
Say.
Fear is real.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to put our finger on it, but it's causing us to slow down. We should be moving at 100 miles an hour, but because we have so much fear in us, we're only moving at 60 or 70 miles an hour. And we wonder why life is passing us by because we're afraid of something, right? Fear must fear something, just like love must love something. Fear must fear something. And too often times we don't make the assessment about what we really fear. We don't really ask the question, how am I feeling and why am I feeling this way?
Okay.
Because in order to overcome it, those are two things you have to address.
I agree.
You know, why am I feeling this way? And oftentimes it's because I think that I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough confidence. I don't have enough strength. I don't have enough accomplishments. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough money. Maybe, I'm 50 years old. It's too late to start a business. I don't have enough time. You know, we've made a lot of excuses up and reasons why we don't attack life. And oftentimes those reasons aren't fear. You know, the reasons are a lack of self.
I agree.
It isn't that it's not that you fear something in achieving the goal. You fear your own lack of self. And we all know the way life works. We'll start something and go hard in the paint for 3 or 4 months, and then next thing you know, we run out of gas and we just stop. And we done spent several $1,000s on doing this and doing that, and now we think that everything that we're going to do from now on, we're afraid to get in because we know we will just quit. So that fear is running from self. You're running from yourself. But I want to change the narrative here on this just a moment, Jay.
Go for it, man. I ain't gonna change that.
This is a Minecraft spin.
Okay, go for it.
Fear is real.
Right.
Let's assume that this is fear. Okay? Let's assume this is fear. We know it exists. We know it's real.
Right.
We can't put our finger on it, right? But we're feeling insecure. We're feeling sad. We're feeling lazy. We're feeling, not willing to change. We, can't get help. We're not willing to listen. We're not willing to take action. We got all these fear-based activities going on. How do you deal with it? Here's how you deal with it.
Okay.
Fear, you do not belong to me anymore. I bind you, I cast you out. You will not hold me back from anything that I want to do. I'm going to take action and I'm going to conquer you, fear. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to overcome you. I'm going to be bigger than you. I am better than you. You are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller in my spirit. And what is replacing you is confidence and strength and power and love and organization and movement and charisma and courage, right?
Make it disappear.
When I'm speaking to fear, fear gets smaller and smaller and smaller the more I speak to it, because I get bigger and bigger and bigger. And ultimately, in this exercise, the word becomes the flesh. I spoke fear away from me. I cast fear down. I cut fear off with the power of my word. And so I'm believing that when I talk to fear like that, fear, you must go. Fear must go, because your words shall not return unto you void. If you don't know what you're afraid of, speak to the thing that you might be afraid of and tell it to go away.
Preach it.
Tell it to be diminished into the nothingness from which it came, and let all power and strength be delivered unto you to achieve this goal or this task and make this thing happen in your life. Sometimes when stagnation is life consuming, you just have to tell your life to get up and go. Sometimes when your whole life is in a roadblock, there's delays, there things are cutting you off, you're being held back.
Right.
And how do you deal with that? You know what? I want all of this delay and stagnation to be removed from my life. Let there be a smooth path before me. Let it be open and let me move freely and effortlessly to my path and to my desired destination.
Mm.
I condemn stagnation. I rebuke stagnation. I cast down stagnation. I remove stagnation from my life. May it be removed, maybe it be bound, maybe it be out of my experience altogether.
I like that. I like that.
Stagnation and fear go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the whole lesson of this story. Now, when stagnation is not all life consuming,
Mm-hmm.
then one should identify the area of life that needs movement. You know, you could be living a great life but have a horrible love life, right? You could be living a great life but not having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You could be living a great life but not be accomplishing things.
That's correct.
You could be stagnated in one or two of the major areas of your life. And when you look at those areas that are stagnated and you desire something more, you truly desire something more for that area of your life, it means that you have a fire in you for it. It means that your desire is causing you to feel not good about not accomplishing this. That's a fire that says, you know what, I ought to do this. I ought to make this happen. I know I can make this happen. That's the fire. Don't put the fire out with fear. Don't put the stagnation out with fear, right? Keep the fire burning. And how do you keep the fire burning? You pray, you meditate, you read, you talk to friends and family about your goals, your objectives. You get out and do something. You take some action. You do some research online. You do the thing that leads toward the destination. Utilize the fire, because if you utilize that fire, it'll get bigger. It'll grow and it'll grow and it'll grow. I have done this for the last 30 years of my life. I have a passion for consciousness. I've always wanted to teach consciousness. I always wanted to teach people how to think. I've always wanted to teach people how to live their best life.
Right.
And I'm so passionate about it. The fire has built up in me over the last 30 years for the subject that I've decided that I'm going to do this for the next 50 years. That means that the fire is so big in me, I could care less about money. The fire is because I want to help and I want to serve and I want to improve the consciousness of humanity. I want to bring people closer to the good life. I want to bring people closer to God. I want to bring people to a place in their life where they don't look back on their deathbed and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I did it. I made it happen. This is what I left. That's what I want for humanity. And so you have to have a fire in you to overcome stagnation. It doesn't happen any other way.
I love it.
Now, sometimes stagnation is broken because life requires something of you. You ever had a situation where, you know, maybe a young family, right? You got you and your wife, you got married, and then you had kids, and then you realize the current income ain't enough. So that job that you was comfortable in, it ain't enough anymore.
Right.
It's stagnating you, right? You are stagnant in that job. Now you are forced to go get more education. You are forced to go get a better job, to apply somewhere else.
Right.
You see? So sometimes stagnation can be broken through by life's requirements, but you don't want to be put in a situation where you're forced to make change. You should make change proactively and intentionally. That is the best way in the scheme of life. If you're always letting life force you out of stagnation, then you're probably always behind the curve, right? And you're always going to be behind the curve, So, I don't know, Jay, what else you got to say on that,
I mean, on that one right there, and also it takes you to realize that you have to make some inner decisions.
You got to decide, yes.
And again, this is back to us, man. We have to make these inner decisions, again, so we can take some of the stress off of our significant others. Again, I wouldn't want her just to be working, and I know I can be doing more.
Yes.
But I like to collectively make decisions together. Because at that point, she still feel involved, and we can be something even greater when you're struggling. because I like to say the struggle makes you stronger. All right.
Yeah.
Struggling time makes strong people. So a lot of times we got to struggle, but we need to communicate. That way we can struggle together to achieve a goal.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I don't always see that. I see one person putting the initiative in and the other person being lax. But then it becomes more of an argument when it should be togetherness.
Right.
Communication could be some of it.
Yeah.
Some people say we need to communicate more. You know, and I'm a man. I'm not a woman.
Right.
But I can tell you, I look at a situation and I have to make a decision. And I make the decision. And a lot of, well, talk your decision out. Okay. Some things I can and some things I can't. In business, I have to inquire a lot of information, and then I get my team of people together, and we try to make a collective decision. If that collective decision is away from the plan of what I know the company's going with, then I have to make that overall decision.
Right.
And a lot of times they be like, well, why did we do it? Because I still gather that information. Because I still got to put things in place. And that's where people miss it. And I really feel like that's what we need to get back to. You know, I can't say our kids. I need to have a family meeting with the kids trying to figure out our finances because they're not in that position.
Right.
But I know she is. And if it might be a one that I got to eat crow, where I said she shouldn't go out and do anything, and I'm going to have to.
Yeah, in a relationship, stagnation kind of kills relationships.
It can, because she's seeing it, she's bringing it to your attention, and you're not doing anything
You're
about
not
it.
doing anything about it, or vice versa.
Exactly. You know, again, I always want to make them one way.
Yeah,
It can go either one, and
anything about it.
then the conversation becomes more argumentative.
Right.
Now that's where it's a tune-out
Yeah.
to me.
And the argument is ultimately about the stagnation.
Yes,
But
well, you ain't doing nothing
you may
about
not,
it.
yeah, you may not be calling it that, but it's the fact that I asked you to move 2 years ago. I've been asking you to move. I've been asking you to help me overcome this, and you haven't. And so now I'm upset that you're stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
That can really hinder a relationship. You know?
Even worse is when they see hard times coming, you still doing some things that could be called wasteful.
The old way.
Yeah, old way of wasting.
Old wasting, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
you'd be like, you got to kill some things to achieve some things. And a lot of people get comfortable, so they get stagnant in what they was doing compared to a change that they got to make.
Yeah.
So again, that's work related, that's relationships. And again, it's one of the things I really got to say, you got to pull your bootstraps up. Yeah. I've heard somebody tell me they love connection. They love to be communicated all the time. Well, guess what? Some of that time can be irritating to me. And I'm the kind of person, before I get irritated, I shut things down. Why? Because I say things that I can never get back. Yeah. And I feel like, to me, I have to put myself in a place that I can balance. Yeah. And then go back. Yeah. But that person feel like you running away from it. No. I table it. Because you're not going to force me to do anything. Right. We're going to collectively have a conversation, and then we can see where we're going to go. As long as somebody in their feelings, things might not go the way you want, because I want factual data, and I want you to understand me. And listen, not be heated and argue with things, words being thrown, and we're off the table. We're fighting over old stuff, and old stuff has been held, and it comes back at you in a way that you're not going in a positive direction. You're going backwards. Yeah. No forward. And that, again, that stagnation can get you there because they feel like you're not acting. You're not doing. Yes. Now, again, when I tell you I take a moment, that shouldn't be a long time. Right. I just don't want to be in my feelings at that time. But this works for me. I'm not telling nobody this the best way. I just know I can say some hurtful stuff, and some hurtful things came my way. They got to live with that. I don't want to add to it.
And you know what? One of the challenging parts of life is the emotional side of life. Mm-hmm. We can get stagnated in our emotions. Oh, yeah. Right? We can play the same tapes over and over and over. Somebody hurt me. I'm the victim. And things ain't going right. I fail all the time. And, those things can steal your potential as well. Our emotional side is the most important side of our life. And we have to take care of our emotions, but we oftentimes don't know how. And ultimately, we get stagnated even in our feelings. And if you get stagnated in your feelings, it's
Right.
going to stagnate your actions.
Yes.
Nobody's going to take action on bad feelings. Only on good feelings will you take action. And if you've got a bad feeling in you and you don't know how to nurture it, it's going to stagnate your actions. And so we got to learn to take care of our emotional self. How do we do that? It goes back to taking care of self, praying, meditating. You cannot do this world by yourself. You need deity to come and bring harmony and cohesion inside of the spirit and outside of the spirit.
I got a way besides praying.
Go ahead.
Minecraft.
Minecraft is the way.
It gives you different ways to look at things.
It does. That's right.
And that's going to help shift your mind.
That's right.
Because a lot of times we get stuck on our own mindset. Think about it. You got to have a different way of looking at something.
Yes.
To get another objective done. And a lot of times we so stuck one way, everybody see your one way, and they play you off that way.
Yeah.
But when you listen to your tapes, and I'm starting to see things differently, hear things differently, now I'm moving differently. They be like, look at him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where did this come from? Because I took control of my own mind.
Right.
To be stronger, to do things. And then they be like, okay, it's easy to follow suit when I see action being done.
Right.
But when you sitting there just stagnant,
right,
and you saying it's all going to be okay, I'm just saying, what are you really doing?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so many things are coming to mind. I remember there was a hurricane in my hometown, Panama City, Florida. My father's house got ruined. And we got, you know, it's half a dozen family members at one home.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's no power.
Mm.
There's no gasoline. There's no lights. There's no nothing.
You
right?
was down there for a minute. I remember that.
Yeah, we were down. And we were all sitting on the porch underneath the carport, like, you know, just in awe about the storm. The storm had just happened the day before, and there's trees down, there's no power, there's no water, no lights, no nothing. And everybody's sitting around just like, I don't know, kind of negatively chumming about the storm. It's real. We know it's real. And I felt the energy going down.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the conversation, I felt the energy going down. I was like, oh, I said, ain't no telling how long this is going to be going down. This could be a couple of days to a couple of months. We need to change the game right now.
Mm.
So I stood up in the middle of the family. I said, all right, let's figure out what we need to do.
Got that action going.
Exactly like that. I said, let's figure out what we need to do. And ultimately, the ladies end up going to take care of the freezer. Let's get those foods right. My uncle's going to take care of the grill. Let's keep it hot. Let's get all this food fixed. It'll last longer if it's fixed rather than hot. We're going to go find some water so we can, you know, flush the facilities. And you got flashlights. You got... Next thing you know, everybody's on fire doing what they need to get done. But sometimes you can talk that mindset. You start talking all that negative talk and all that gossip and all that what ifs and how sad and how painful it is. I'm not going to stand around and hear none of that. When we get in a situation, I'm not going to let my mindset drift down. I'm going to go up, which means we're going to make the best out of the situation, what we need to do.
Yep.
And so being stuck in your mindset is normal. That's why we have to stimulate ourselves. That's why we have to renew our minds, right? That's why the Lord said, renew your mind.
Mm-hmm.
renew your mind daily, you know? So I created a product quickly, mindcraftcentral.com. It's called the Mindset Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to do with the Mindset Creator was, here's the average mind,
All right.
okay? And this is just people going about their day, thinking, making things happen, just a normal life. And everybody wants to elevate to here, right?
Right.
They want to elevate to right here. So in order to elevate to here, I need you to think like these people think who are right here. So in the Mindset Creator, I take you from your current mindset to the mindset of greatness, to the mindset of the baller, to the mindset of the master, to the mindset of the one in control, to the mindset of the one who's strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that by introducing 300 2 to 3 word statements. And these statements are not just normal statements. These are actually commands to the mind. And so I give you a command when I say the word strong come up, when I say major come up, it's not just a simple phrase. It's actually a command to the mind to come up. But ultimately, if I say major come up to you, you be like, yeah, I would love to have a major come up. I would love to have emotional balance. I would love to have peaceful days. I would love to have strong relationships. I would love to have a bright future. I would love to be very lucky. I would love to be have major achievements. You see how each one of these are stair-step in your mindset? Sometimes you need help building your mindset, and the mindset creator can help you build that, because stagnation comes from old ideas. And so we need new ideas in order to inspire us and move us out of the old method, the old way, the old technique. And mindset creator could be a great way to help people overcome some stagnation.
I think it is. Because one of the things is we don't always think about more of a positive note when we're going through a negative situation. It's just like you. When we're challenged with Mother Nature. And you can't always predict when it's going to happen. Power go out. I don't have this. What do I do? And I like to say that's when you start looking at a positive of what all I can still do. Okay? And it takes you to start seeing things and be like, okay, we got the flashlights. The freezer. We're going to keep it closed to make sure it stays frozen, because right now it's still going to stay in a frozen state. Open it up more often, it's going to thaw out faster. So it's getting your mind back to, okay, is the gas still on? Because just because you lose power don't mean you get gas. If you got gas, it still could be working. So my whole thing is, what's the plan? How we going to do it? And what I loved about what you just said is how the women went and did their thing because they're knowledgeable about a lot of stuff they can do. The men gather up and we start to do things. But guess what? We still working as a whole. So we all are getting a job and a task done. And you brought it up for we can stop talking about a negative and start doing with a survival. See, I say it's survival mode. It's still a positive mode because we have to make sure we get past. But if we stay talking and not doing, we're going backwards.
And just a general way of thinking about it before we close out here is when things aren't as they should be, there will be stagnation. I'm thinking about if you're a leader in a group. When I was, being a leader with my family in that hurricane situation, that if I would have asked the men to go prepare the food in the kitchen and I asked the women to go prepare the grill, everybody ain't at their sweet spot. It creates stagnation, If things aren't as they should be, it creates stagnation. If you put the wrong person in the wrong job, it's going to create stagnation, If you talk to people the wrong way, it's going to create stagnation. If you treat people the wrong way, it's going to create stagnation. Anything that's not in its proper place is going to create stagnation. And that's why we have to focus on understanding what is right at any given time. Believe it or not, if there's a person on your local convenience store corner who's asking you for money every day, and you passing by with a bad attitude every day, you could be stagnating yourself because you're unwilling to give and help others. And you keep showing it day after day and week after week. You have to determine what that is for you, But you might not be getting gifts and fruits of the Spirit because you're being stingy with what little you have. See, God needs you to help somebody so somebody can help you. That's what the tithe is all about. It's about you pour in a little bit over here, then he gonna pour in a little bit over there. And so sometimes stagnation can be caused because I'm unwilling to give. I'm unwilling to help others. I'm unwilling to support. Maybe I'm stingy. And if you stingy, the world's gonna be stingy from you.
No, also,
that's the way it works.
Some people just want to challenge. Why you gotta be the leader? Why you got to come up with everything?
And whole thing bad attitude, stagnate the leadership.
Because now we are thinking about where are you speaking from compared to what are you trying to do? And people do it all the time. Like, why I can't? Well, you didn't come up with it. I came up with something that's going to lead us in a good position because of things I've been through. Might have some military background in me. I might have just know how to survive. There's some people that know how to hunt and fish better than somebody else. So yes, I really feel like if that person is stronger, then let's get some words of wisdom. Not just that person is saying, well, why you? Okay? Because somebody has to, and you just need to sit your ass down. Because sometimes we need to have somebody that's willing to show and do compared to somebody that just want to sit there and complain.
Yeah.
That don't get nothing done. And that's why I said I love it when I see a person take charge.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want us to fail. And I love that.
Yeah.
Compared to a person who want to sit there and be like, why we got to listen to him? Because you ain't got no goddamn good ideas. That's why.
And let me just speak to leaders. And you know if you're a leader. You know if you are ahead of the curve. You know if you're in the top 10, 20% of people. Because you're making things happen. You know, people call on you for help. You know, when something go wrong, they call you.
Yes, they
Why? Because you're the leader. And you've helped them before. You've given them wisdom. You think clearly. They believe in you. They trust in you. Leaders are responsible for making sure that the world is not stagnant. And I'm encouraging leaders to get involved with anything under the sun that removes stagnation from our world. It can be, it can be something in your small town community. It could be something on a major level. You might want to support, the weather and global warming, or you might want to go down and feed the homeless, or maybe you want to focus on food for other countries, but get involved in something because your participation reduces stagnation in our world. See, if there's a problem going on, and there's a problem going on, and you don't get involved, you're hindering progress. Let's all get involved. We can remove stagnation from our world by getting involved. And the other thing I'll say on that is that every one of you as leaders, I'm also encouraging you to become coaches in the people around you in your life. They need you. You clearly can see they're making a mistake. You clearly can see that they are thinking wrong. They got a bad mindset, a bad attitude. You can clearly see they're sad, they're lazy, they have no ambition, they don't have self-esteem. You can clearly see it. Do something about it. Get involved. Have a conversation with that person. It can be a child all the way to an elderly person. But go and shake their hand. Look them in the eyes. Smile with them. Give them some good words. Give them some help. Take them a trinket or some candy or a pastry that day. But find a way to pour into those people who you see and know are stagnant. When you do that for who are, quote unquote, the lesser for you, guess what? Those who are above you. And I'm not just talking about God. I'm talking about friends who may have elite constituents who can put you in places, help you get those applications done, get your veterans paperwork done so you can be free and financial. Those people are going to come help you. You help somebody, somebody's going to help you. That's how we'll remove stagnation from our world. Because ultimately what you're looking at is what you're looking with. If you see someone stagnant and you call them stagnant and you do nothing about it, then you're looking at them with a stagnant mentality.
And drop the mic.
What you're looking at is what you're looking with, and I think we can close it out right now.
No, all day long. That's drop the mic moment because again, that reflects back to you.
That reflects back to you.
You're not trying to do nothing more than what they're showing you.
There you go.
And I feel like as a coach, mentor, and a leader, you have to show more than what they ever going to show.
Have to show more, and you got to care about people. This world is not going to survive through technology. You got to care about people. People must care about people.
Yes.
Because people are what make this world go round.
Yes.
No reason to be here without people. There's one great quote, famous quote that said, if you could be in this entire world all by yourself and have it all, that you would choose having a friend over having the entire world's wealth and prosperity. Because a friend is something that's nurturing. A friend is something that's meaningful. People make the world go round.
I look at it like this. If it was just meant for you to do it, then God would have just let
He'd have just
Adam
let-
been by himself. He gave him somebody for a reason.
Hey, listen, and he gave him a woman.
Didn't he do good?
Well, let's
Didn't he
finish
do
up.
good?
Yeah, well, he showed did.
That's why
good.
this is about
He
relationships.
did good.
He
yeah.
did.
Listen,
One
he didn't
different-
leave no room for stagnation.
He made the right thing, make it
He
right.
did, but he took that one rib out of us, though.
Hey, look, I ain't even missing it.
Yeah.
I like it when I'm with it.
Listen, we gonna close out. This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Crabmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We just trying to be leaders again in our community. Talk about things a little deeper than the average. So we can get to the substance of things, and hopefully that'll help somebody. Hopefully it'll help you.
Thank you.
Please come back and join us every week. Again, we're here every Thursday, 7 to 8, Facebook
Yes.
Live. Like, share, subscribe. Like,
Yes,
share,
yes, yes.
subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. And never forget, folks, that we love you. We appreciate you. And with that,
We are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.